I wanted to highlight only briefly how ecological degradation is accelerating. We're facing a sixth mass extinction. Ocean acidification is increasing at the fastest rate in over 300 million years. And the United Nations has found that climate change is pushing us to what they call an unlivable world. Here in the United States, our half-century-old environmental laws are finally showing their age, unable to stop the onslaught, let alone reverse it. As an advocate, I at first blamed the usual suspects for the inability of our environmental laws to protect us from these impacts. These types of roadblocks include well-funded industry opposition, agency bureaucracies, overwhelmed courts, increasingly conservative judges, and a lack of effective public outreach and engagement. But I realized over time that there's a more entrenched reason for our environmental laws' inability to address these modern challenges, and that is the law's framing and the assumptions that go with that framing. There are two primary framing perspectives. First is the current frame, which views natural systems as separate from us, commodities that are primarily property to be traded for profit. This is the frame that our current environmental laws are grounded in and serve. This second framing perspective views natural systems as interconnected with us, a subject rather than an object of our laws, a community to which we belong. Under this second frame, our societal goal is not to maximize short-term economic profit as we do today, but instead to become a mutually enhancing presence upon the earth, giving back more than we take rather than taking far more than we give. These two frames are examples of legal philosophy, also called jurisprudence. Earth Jurisprudence, which is a term that was made famous by cultural historian Thomas Berry, refers to an earth-centered philosophy of law. An Earth Jurisprudence philosophical frame generates earth-centered laws, including laws that recognize the inherent rights of nature to exist, thrive, and evolve. Just as we recognize inherent human rights as arising from our existence on Earth, so too should we logically and morally recognize the inherent rights of nature, our fellow Earth citizen. Recognition of nature's inherent rights begins to reframe law and ethics. It challenges the worldview of nature as primarily an object to be owned and degraded. One example of this difference in practice is the U.S. Endangered Species Act, which helps prevent species from being extinguished. But it does not kick in until economic forces that have pushed species towards almost extinction have almost succeeded, creating a situation in which those same economic forces actively resist the restoration of those species. By contrast, an Earth-centered legal system would generate not an Endangered Species Act, but a Healthy Species Act, which would set a much higher bar for species flourishing and would guide our use of those species and their habitats to be consistent with our mutual well-being. In my 15 years of involvement with rights of nature, the movement has grown tremendously. Currently, the rights of nature are recognized in law at some level in 24 nations worldwide, including across 15 US states. The website ecojurisprudence.org maps these and other ecological laws worldwide.